Good evening, everybody. I'm going to start with a prayer to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, so please join with me. Om Nasi Nam Taraji Nunupe, Raji Jaji Na Jubayi, Sangi Chodangi do Papezo, Guna Jazeta Jataji Jo, Deme Jabazid. Jimbe Jimbe Gatapadamba, Guna Gumba Jaji Rabaje, Lumbudur Bazara Bedane, Simjadam Jala Kunta Pepe, Yisum Zapa, Serup Tabalde, Sanzam de Bedaji. Devarshipa Yala Chazalo, Jimbe Juno Palendo Jizi, Cherezi Wangumbo Jimbepe, saying in Buddha. Namganyam Babacho Gondozang, Ubedije Pegalushina, Nupotawa Rinimai, Chazalanum Dejipe. Chanjusan Baigala Chazalo, Dinji de Jotashi Sergina, the Jobozayon Kamala, Yedatunda Puzo Pepe, Minagazan Wujur. Rinchi Tajo Jigi, Chatanche, Chudu Yawa Jujingajama, Gizongo, Timpepe, Tashi Hamungela, Chazalo, Samba Chimbo de Jung, Semepo, Migdondan, Galpo Yulkorsung, Pagepotan, Luang Mimisa, Namde Sizela Zakolota, Tishola Dano. Be wanted to shooting Zinzi, Sasum Nesu collectorship, Jide Kawangela, Chazalo, Daja Tinderchawa, Zumbala. Ketanya Warsawa, Kunjini, the Dembebe, some de Asian Drup, Dashi de Le Pusum Zabarsho, Dajatin Dirjawa Zumbala, Getanya Warsawa, Kunjini, the Dembebe, some de Asian Drup, Dashi de Le Pusum. Dajatin Dirjawa Zumbala, Getanya Warsawa, Kunjini, the Dembebe, some de Asian Drup, Dashi de Le Pusum, so para show. Jumden de Paro Gumbo Jizin Jabe Yanacha Saro Kangelo, Dimni Dini, the Chingi to go Chizin, Nika to Ganapase, Gadasibe, Sir Mari Mudum do which. Tosogona Puji Tarzi, not to Jin, the so do the Jeronio Monino, Legacy, Mari Musi, the one you witching each other, the Nessajet, the Indonesia. Churaji the Chungin Yandre Dano Moses and Priana do Marapsanadi, Marapsanadi, Marapsanadi. Marapsanadi, Marapsanadi, Marapanadi, 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 Marapanadi. Marapsanadi, Marapanadi, 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 Marapsanadi, Marapanadi, 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 Marapsanadi, Marapanadi, Marapanadi. O Marapsanadi, 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 Marapanadi, Marapsanadi, O Marapsanadi, Marapanadi, Marapsanadi, Marapanadi, Kurum the Deji, Ching Pau Betana, Sheriff Britain, Le Bazame Jamaica, Gumbo Jamay, and not just the concert of the bomb, choose that word. Gumbo Jamie, Kime, Parianton, Vara, Show. Jizun Pama to my kegeno, Jigdan Dunge Gune Capdo Sol, Jizun Pama to my kegeno, Jigdan Dunge Gune Capdo Sol, Jizun Pama to my kegeno, Jigdan Dunge Gune Cap. Jizun Pama to my kegeno, Jigdan Dunge Gune Capdo Sol, Jizun Pama to my kegeno, Jigdan Dunge Gune Capdo Sol, Jizun Pama to my kegeno, Jigdan Dunge Gune Capdo Sol. So, tonight, meditation teaching. When we talk about meditation, in a way we think that we have to alter our mind to some different kind of mind state. Like we have to be somebody else from who we are normally. That's the notion most ordinary people have when we try to say, I like to do meditation, I need to do meditation, whatever, always something outside. And actually we do for everything in some way outside. What does that mean? Is our minds are constantly outside, distracted. But the real home is where your awareness is. Your awareness is not outside. Your awareness is not somewhere, but your awareness is where your mind is, which is your awareness. And when we talk about meditation, we are trying to discover as much as possible, whether going step by step by step, or whether realizing instantaneously the nature of our mind, the nature of our awareness. Where are we? Or what is that nature? That's what meditation. So meditation is a vehicle, a method, that how we can get to our awareness, in other words. Every day we think of achieving and discovering happiness. And we feel like there's a lack of quality or missing quality in our daily mindset or our present mindset. Something lacking, something not enough to give us the experience of happiness or give us the realization of upliftment from ignorance or upliftment from distraction, upliftment from all the confusion and stress that we go through, so that we can have the potential to experience a deeper level. In fact, not just deeper, a total level, a totality level of who we are on a fundamental level. That's basically meditation shown in the Buddhist tradition, in Buddha Dharma. Well, first of all, what is Buddha means? Buddha means awakened mind. And the nature of awakened mind, or the basic goodness, or basic sanity, in totality level, every being has, which in Sanskrit, the word is called Sugata Garbha, or Tathagata Garbha. Like them, various words. And sometimes we may think that, oh, that sounds very foreign. That sounds something from India, or ancient India, Sanskrit word. Like when we talk about Latin, suddenly your mind goes to Rome today. There's something Romans, it's in Vatican or something, the Latin language is used in. So instantly it's take us to far back of time, somewhere in India, when we use Sugata Garbha, Tathagata Garbha. But of course, we are using a term that the meaning of the term. We are not just following a word, but we are trying to follow the meaning, and that how does they relate that Tathagata Garbha or that nature to us, here and now? How does it relate to us? So now, when the teaching of the Buddha gets much, much deeper and more profound, there are other language for that basic goodness, or basic sanity in English, we may call. Remember one thing, we're not called sanity, we're called basic sanity. There's a difference between sanity and basic sanity. There's a difference between goodness and basic goodness. So combining basic goodness, combining basic sanity, then it's become very powerful. It's a totality picture rather than partial. Because, for example, when we say that person is good, but then he or she may have many other faults too. That's how it works in the impure phenomenal world. But here, when it says basic goodness, it's talking about a fundamental reality. I'm talking reality, a fundamental reality, not fundamental appearance. There's a difference between fundamental reality and fundamental appearance. Fundamental reality, what the teaching clearly defines of the two truth, relative truth and absolute truth. Fundamental reality is the absolute truth, while the phenomenal experience is a relative appearance. So there is a big difference in that. So when we say someone is good, let's say, one's brother or sister. When we talk about brother and sister, we always have bias. We may always try to promote them. Oh, my brother is good and my sister is good. But from the other's perspective, they may not necessarily be good. They may be very harmful to other person. So that basis of good is based on appearance, but not based on ground reality. You see, for example, I'm just using an example. Same thing, when we talk about basic goodness or basic sanity, it has to be complete. In other words, a total dissolution of defilements. Where there is absence of defilements, where there is absence of ignorance, and the expression of ignorance, which is ego and duality and afflictive emotion, that state is called fundamental goodness. That state you can call basic goodness. That state you can call basic sanity. Otherwise, it doesn't have the right to be called basic goodness or basic sanity. You see, there's a very profound meaning in basic goodness and basic sanity. So therefore, in terms of the language, as we were talking earlier, in terms of the language using Sukata Gata Garbha, Tathagata Garbha, and various other words, there is one word in the highest teaching of the Dharma, which is the great perfection, Dzogchen teaching. In that, there are, the word of basic goodness is used as Rigpa, simply awakening. You see, now it's just like no sort of like play of scholars or no play of this, just to the point, awakened. Awake has to happen in your mind, not outside, somewhere, but within. Awakened mind. So now where is this awakened mind? Where is, what we may call essence, this basic goodness? Where is this awakened mind? It's within your mind. It's not outside of your mind. If you try to search for the awakened mind outside, even in 1 billion lives, 1 billion years, you cannot even discover. And just look at us. We've been searching outside of our mind every day, all the time. Where did that lead us to? Create more concept, more ideas, more dogmas. That's all what you got. You have a bag full of dogmas and bag full of ideas and conceptualization. That's all you're carrying all the time. And you're adding it more. So probably the way we've been looking so far is probably a wrong way in some way. Now perhaps better to drop the whole conceptualization, drop the whole searching, and just feel your mind directly. And that is practice of meditation. And the interesting thing about meditation, you're not told to be somebody else. You're not told to visualize something. You're not told to generate devotion. You're not told to, be a kind, kind, loving person. You're just simply told to watch your mind and don't lose your mind, meaning don't get distracted. Don't follow your past thoughts and experience, emotions. Don't follow after your present thoughts. And don't anticipate what's going to happen in the future. All those are conceptualization. The concept of the past, or concept of the present, and concept of the future. Because if you try to cling to them, if you try to grasp to them, that simply become conceptual as well as it simply become materialism. Probably it becomes spiritual materialism. Then if there is a materialism, then it's always caught up in the realm of duality. And duality always produces more conceptualization and more distraction. Obviously, your mind will go in the future, your mind will constantly try to bring the past, and then the present is like the cooking pot, where you put the past and present, and you're stirring up, and it's like really a mixture of, what's in your past mindset and your future mindset, and present you're cooking. It's like putting cake and lentils and burrito and a crepe and Chinese food, Asian food, everything mixed up. I don't think very tasty. And that's called neurosis. We don't like to experience neurosis in our own mind. When we experience our emotion, conflict, struggle in our mind, we are not pleasant, we are not happy. Nobody's happy. But due to that habit of constantly engaging to the same pattern again and again and again, we go through that. That's the nature of cause and effect, you can say. Or that's the nature of duality, how we get, trapped in that frame of mindset. We don't know how to let our mind open. We don't know how to relax with our mind nature. Instead, always trying to bring something and stirring our mind, whatever we do. Not only ordinary people will be stirring their mind, but even so-called spiritual people. Those who are on the path, for example, they have a good experience of meditation. Whether it's like calm abiding, whether it's clarity, whether it's the experience of utter openness. So then what you do when you try to do sitting practice, you try to think of the good times. The moment you try to think of the good times, you are creating a baggage of conceptualization. And that's exactly called spiritual materialism. Then that, and of course, when you try to bring that in your mind stream and to experience your past, one of those wonderful experiences of meditation, it's not really meditation, it's spiritual materialism. And spiritual materialism, what it does is makes your mind frustrated because you don't feel that same kind of experience like what you did in the past. So when you don't experience the bliss or the clarity or the emptiness, and what you experience is just like the last time I have this great experience, and you think of that and I'm trying to bring that. It's not going to do. Mind is very direct, and mind is very naked, raw, and sharp. It doesn't play around with you. You may be playing with your mind, but your mind is not going to play and take that lightly. You have to be directly connected with not a make-up mind, but a rather naked mind, in other words. So how do you do that? You have to allow the mind. Allowing the mind, but not conceptualization, the mind, if that's the right word in English. So you sit, particularly if it's breathing meditation, the method, whatever one may use, a meditation based on breathing method, or the method is focusing to an object, or objectless, whatever the method you choose in your meditation practice. But the important thing is to be simply aware and not get caught up in spiritual materialism. Not, yes, you may experience past. It's not that you want to shut up your experience of the past or shut up your experience of the future. Then that wouldn't be right either. Then you are again conceptualization in another way. So you allow the mind. You don't want to suppress your thoughts and emotion. You allow the mind, however they may arise, but you don't go after that. And also not like suppressing that. You just simply know the thought arises, then again go back to the breathing. When you breathe in, you are there, focus. And when you breathe out, you're also there. But you don't want to make a big deal about your meditation. That's very important. Here I'm meditating. My better concentration be there. Breathe out, there I am. Breathe in, there I am. Now I'm making my times worth. Time is money. I'm making my times worth. This is big deal. Somebody's making a noise, shut up. Somebody's doing this, stop that. Here I am doing meditation. Can't you see I'm doing meditation? Really? You're not told to bring your aggression in meditation. You're told to, the way you deal with the aggression is not by creating more contradiction, but seeing that. And when you breathe out, just, yes, you may feel emotion or whatever, but allow that. And then just be with your breath. When you breathe in, breathe out, just remember to just be with the breath without any ego trip. Don't try to, put too much demand on yourself. Just be very relaxed. Relax in your body, relax in your mind. Just simply be as ordinary. Don't be like some special person. Just become an ordinary mind, an ordinary person or ordinary mind, sort of. You're just simply there. You don't make big deal. You just simply sit. In that way, the mind will open up. Because as I said, mind is very sharp. Your inner mind is very sharp. It will reject any type of game you play with it, it will reject right away. So the best way to deal with the mind is to be honest, so to speak, like direct, and just being with your breathe in, breathe out, just simply there. And then correct the mistake of meditation. If you feel drowsy, then your meditation will be lost. So you need to have your body straight. And then your awareness alert, clear. Simply. And then if it's too much thoughts, excitement coming, you can't calm down, then don't try to suppress the mind, but just allow it. as it says in the teaching of meditation. How do you tame a cow? You tame a cow by allowing it a big spacious meadow, like hundreds of acres, so to speak. And then the cow will just keep going and eating the grass, and finally it will flop down. Same thing with the mind. When you allow it, at some point it will wear out. The neurosis will wear out. Even its heightened neurosis, it will wear out by itself. Because you are not trapping it, you are allowing it. You're just simply with your breath. So, something like that. Mind is sharp. Your inner mind is sharp. It doesn't trick from you. It's very sharp. And when you allow that, then it will come to the point of in the nature. You see, we use the word nature very powerful these days, like organic, like nature. But the moment you try to bring this idea and that idea, it's like chemical. The chemical reaction, we say is a bad for the health. Same thing, mind doesn't need chemical trick. Mind need organic quality, how to work with the mind. Okay? So, let's do a meditation now. Sit straight. Many times I said, don't sit on a sofa chair where you will fall asleep. You won't have meditation. Sit a little bit on a firmer cushion or chair. Make your body straight and relax. No tension. Meditation is a time that we allow ourselves to rest. Not that we put so much demand that makes you, build up tension or make you neurosis or make you aggressive. It's a time that you can finally drop everything and just be there with yourself. So, just sit in the comfortable posture, and then your eyes slightly looking down to the tip of your nose, and relax too. Your body also not dressed up, just very ordinary, just straight but relax. Mind also alert but relax. And then now you go through your breathing, your mind is with the breath. When you breathe out, you're falling, your awareness is with the breath. And when you breathe in, your awareness, you're simply there. In other words, you're simply there, just simply aware. You're not judging anything. You're not saying this is good, that is bad, our usual pattern, how we stir up everything, how all aggression and everything arises. Now you're simply seeing it and allowing it. So in that way, there's a natural process of, like a fresh air coming. Instead of the claustrophobia and instead of the usual aggression, the aggression will naturally dissolve when you just work with in a natural way. Okay, so let's do meditation now. Okay, I hope you have a good meditation. Please continue every day, and you will master your mind. You will be victorious from all conflict in your mind. But you have to sit, and you have to be your own teacher. And teacher is being the discipline that you need to apply. At the same time, you see, as long as our mind is caught up in duality, not only that we have to apply meditation teaching, meditation method, like everyday sitting, but then in post-meditation state, you have to apply, you live in the world of karma, that you will come into contact with all kinds of people, and that you have to work in compassionate, you have to apply the bodhisattva practices, the four immeasurable, the 6 parameters, all the knowledge you have gained through studying the Bodhichara Avatara teaching, and the rest of all the positive thing, whatever, that do not harm beings directly or indirectly, you must apply that in your life, day-to-day life. Because that will be the source of your own happiness as well as happiness of other beings. We really have to particularly follow the path of the Bodhisattva Yana. And I would request you and encourage you to please read the Bodhichara Avatara teaching. Try to understand deeper the meaning of those teachings by Shantideva. And also have a good grasp, understanding and knowledge of the interdependent teaching. Because if you know the essence of interdependent, then you can see all the faults of not knowing that reality, the relative reality, that the world we live in, the world of smell and taste and color and emotions, all the different bright blue, yellow, all different experience that comes. You're going through relative experience. The relative experience comes with kindness and compassion, as I've mentioned in the past many times. And then you all have studied the Bodhichara Avatara teaching, and Brendan has given meditation teaching, Chris Monson has given teaching on Bodhichara Avatara teaching. So combine all this knowledge and all this experience, and then it will all finally come down to your awareness, which will open up. So we have to bring two approach to life. As we talk about 2 kinds of ignorance. One is the ignorance of cause and effect, not knowing what effect is caused by what cause. We engage in neurosis and expecting happiness. That's never going to happen. And there's the ignorance of not knowing cause and effect. And the ignorance of not knowing the nature of reality. And so it's good to, have some understanding of interdependent teaching, and then through your meditation experience. And then all the confusion, which is called defilements and obscurations, will gradually dissolve, gradually diminish, and your awareness get more clear. And then you will be able to synchronize your awareness and expression in harmony. In other words, expression is your projection, and awareness is the ground where the expression arises. And in other words, that's the mind. The mind has awareness. Awareness is 2 qualities. One is the quality of utter openness, and one is the quality of clarity, which smell, taste, know a thing. So instead of using, your misconstrued constitute intelligence of ego and duality, which is the birth of all neurosis, and the result is suffering. Use it now, how the nature is. Dharma is talking about nature. Dharma is not talking about converting you to this and that. There's no conversion. How can you convert a mind, in essence? You can't. It's all like stories, Until you taste your own awareness, fundamental goodness within you, we get swayed away by sometimes, this idea, that idea, this ism. There's no point, We all are same human being, regardless what labels we have, Buddhists, Christians, Hindus, Muslim, atheists, communists, those are all labels. But we are all fundamental human beings who all strive for happiness, who is every day looking for some level of happiness in every way, even for like 1 minute, if we can find happiness. We're striving and looking for that. And that's, you have the right for look for that. Because the meaning of life is happiness and liberation. No one should suffer. As a Dharma practitioner, you took commitment, and particularly in the Vajrayana path, Mahayana path, you took a vow, commitment to benefit other beings and benefit yourself. You can't benefit yourself if your mind is confused. You can't benefit yourself if you live in aggression and neurosis. So forget about benefiting other people. If you have to benefit other people, first benefit yourself. Actually, that's the path how Buddha have shown the way, The Hinayana path means first work with oneself. Then naturally you can reach out to others. But of course, as a Mahayana practitioner, you also know that it's so important that, if you can maintain your sanity, you're naturally maintaining sanity of others too at the same time. It's like knowing that, in your even temporary relative or conventional happiness comes from others' good feeling, kindness, love, compassion. So naturally it's important that we have to be open to receive that and be kind to others so you can receive more. And that it's not that you are trying to be selfish, but you naturally feel your heart will open up. And that's practice, Tonglen practice is very good. Taking and sending. That at some point your mind will turn into goodness to a deeper level, basic goodness. And then you can see that when you are compassionate to other people, you are naturally compassionate to yourself. To say that I'm compassionate to other people and I'm less compassionate to oneself, it's a very wrong statement and it's a very confused idea actually. Because your mind awareness, your mind stream is helping someone. That mind has to be, awake and clear and filled with love and gentleness. An absence of aggression is required. You can't benefit someone with aggression. So, those are the practice of Dharma. And so thank you very much, all of you. Please keep your life of Dharma. Be truthful to yourself. Sit every day. Many knowledge and experience come through the meditation experience by itself. And then we can discuss, time to time is important to. I'm having these days trying to meet people through Zoom. And then if you have questions, we can relate to that also. So anyway, any question tonight? No question. All right then. So, yeah, let's do world peace prayer. In the world in general and in this nation, may not even their names, disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard. May virtuous qualities and merit and prosperity greatly increase, and may continuous good fortune and sublime well-being perfectly arise in the world in general and in this nation. May not be the names, disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard. May virtuous qualities and merit and prosperity greatly increase, and may continuous good fortune and sublime well-being perfectly rise in the world in general and in this nation. May not even the names, disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard. May virtuous qualities and merit and prosperity greatly increase, and may continuous good fortune and sublime well-being perfectly rise. By this merit, may all beings omniscient, thus defeat the neuroses which are the
negative actions which are the enemies.
enemies.
From the stormy waves of
So birth, old age,
sickness,
and death.
From the ocean of cyclic existence, may all beings be liberated.
Thank you. You all have a wonderful evening, and then Tracy will let you know. I think the next, and 24th. Yeah, 1 to 4. I'm giving teaching on the Ngundu teaching. So those who are doing Ngundu, you can listen to that. At the same time, I'm going to give explanation the Dzogchen lineage this time. Okay? All right then. Everyone, good night. Okay. Tracy, are you done? Yeah, you can turn off the... Okay.